we haven't filmed in. This is our first show back in like a month or two.
Oh, okay.
So this is to give you like history. Okay. We'll do an intro right now, but really quick to give you history. We started the show 3 years ago, like kind of before podcasting was crazy, because now it's like everyone has a show and it's insane. So we've built a really good platform, and we all grew up together, and
we just hit 7,000 subs, which is
nice.
Yeah,
we hit 7,000 subs yesterday.
Wow, that's awesome.
And nothing crazy compared to like some of the channels we produce shows for, but yeah, Zach and Kyler's my brother. Obviously, we grew up in Ladera. We had a basement, so we called it Basement Talk. And in the basement, we would do crazy, like we just grew up doing crazy stuff in there. So we had the equipment one day for a client, and the client backed out, and then we took the equipment and said, "Let's do our own show." That's good. That was 3 years ago, and it's been ever since.
Isn't that funny how things begin?
It began.
It's crazy.
It's kind of the big pathway for our agency too, because we have people like you that come in, and then they see what we're doing. They see all the other media stuff that we do and offers and services we do. And then, it turns into like a cool business thing. It's really,
and one of the reasons why I'm here too is I'm building a sports complex.
Yep.
In Scottsdale, Arizona. I sent that to you.
I saw that. The yards, right?
Yeah.
So cool.
I mean,
you're going to have crazy athletes there.
Yeah. It's Tim Tebow and John Elway are looking to fund it.
Wow.
So we're building 5 of them across the country. So
whoa.
Yeah. So a guy just got hired this morning, which you guys, when you leave here, you'll find out. The UCLA coach got fired. You knew that, right? I don't know if you knew that, but I'm a football guy. But now the new coach is my business partner is Noel Mazzoni. So he now became the offensive coordinator. So he's going to be coaching against Penn State this weekend, which is he's one of my business partners for the yards. So all this is happening so quickly. So you let me know where we want to go and how this wants to go.
I know.
I'll
follow your lead.
But
welcome to the show, Marty.
Yeah, welcome to Basement Talk. Give him a round of applause. We got Marty Burns in here. Thank you so much for coming. This podcast is pretty nostalgic for us because we grew up wearing your product.
Yeah, let's just talk about this right away. What's in front of us for the viewer?
Founder of Power Balance, one of the founders.
Yes, one of the founders.
Extremely successful brand. I know a lot of you guys watching. I would say 90% of you guys watching right now have worn this. You guys know what it is.
It's extremely successful, but one of probably the craziest stories and things people forgot about. Right?
Yeah, it was a huge fad, and it happened quick, and it ended quick. I mean, it was like we had a 4-year run where I turned on television programs, and it would be on from The Bachelorette and The Bachelor to the Biggest Loser. I mean, we were on every TV show. I mean, we had a suite at Staples. It was an absolute 4-year crazy run, and then it went away just as fast as it got there. So,
and what were you doing before Power? Like, what were you doing before?
You know, I was in the medical industry. I had 3 young boys, and I was invested in a medical company, and the medical company didn't get approval by the FDA on a particular product, and my investment went away. Wow. And this happened around December. And these guys contacted me about the same time saying, hey, we've got this product, and it's a sticker. Would you be interested in marketing it and helping us?
How did you believe in that?
Well, I didn't.
Like from the outside, it's like, what?
I didn't. Yeah. So I was like, bro, come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I went and looked at it, and it was literally a sticker. And he goes, well, what will it do? And we did the balance test, and it worked on me. And I go, well, this is bullshit.
So kind of like what I just said.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is, and I go, the one thing he goes, it also eliminates motion sickness. And I'm like, okay, well, that's something I can truly test and see whether that's legit, because I'm super seasick guy. Yeah. Like, I couldn't watch the movie Cloverfield, where it's filmed with a handheld, because it was jiggling, and I would get sick in that, and get on a boat sick. So I tried it. Just the sticker was at this point. That's all it was. And I did it, and I didn't get seasick. So that was kind of got my attention. And then I said, okay, I'm interested in this. I go, but the sticker, you can't see it. It was being put inside wetsuits. I'm like, how are we marketing that? We need to see it. And
so it started off as like a surfing?
Yes. The guy Troy Rodarmo is the original founder, the one.
Because they're local, right?
They're local. They lived in Capistrano Beach. They went to Mission Viejo High School.
Wow.
And he was a surfer. And so he knew I knew I grew up with Steve Kerr, who lived in my house in high school. And for you guys that don't know him, his father and my father, he was the president of the American University in Lebanon and was assassinated.
Steve Kerr's father was?
Steve Kerr's dad.
Wow.
Steve lived with me in the Palisades, Pacific Palisades. We grew up together and childhood friends. He was president of the Suns at the time.
Okay.
That's what they wanted Shaq to wear it. So we flew to Arizona, and I said, you know, what are you guys going to do for me if I get this on Shaquille? And they go, well, we'll give you a percentage of the company.
Well, let's slow down. Like, how did you have that relationship with Shaq already? Like,
I didn't. Steve Kerr did. Steve Kerr was the president of the team.
Got it.
So I called up an old favor and said, hey, Steve, I've got this product. Yeah. It helps with balance.
And was he tripping too?
He was like, well, I got to have it looked at by the team doctors before you guys bring it in here. And I'm like, bro, no, it's just this, it's a wristband. By this time, we had turned it into a wristband.
Yeah.
Because the sticker thing didn't work. And I was telling you guys.
Oh, because before it's like a sticker you could just like put on your skin.
Sticker.
But you needed to market it better and
show it. It had no adhesiveness to it.
Yeah.
You'd get wet and
you
come
can't
off.
sell it for $30.
Terrible. It was terrible. What they were doing was they had a card that was like 5x7 and it had a sticker, and you'd peel one off and stick it on your skin, and that was the marketing.
Oh god,
it was terrible.
No marketing.
It was terrible. So they put it in a neoprene wetsuit band and sewed it up, and I think I've got some old pictures of that. But the neoprene stunk. If you started to sweat, it would stink. Oh. But that was the one we originally got to Shaquille. And so Steve, we went into the bowels of the Arizona stadiums, Phoenix Suns. The doctors put it on. It's not radioactive. You know, it's not going to kill anybody, right? They were doing all these tests.
Yeah.
And then Steve goes, I just saw Steve Nash, Shaquille, and Grant Hill were all wearing it.
So
Steve told me this before. So now I'm with all the guys, and he goes, I said to my guys, I said, hey, look, what are you guys going to give me if he's wearing this in a game? They go, we'll give you X% of the company. And I, oh, great.
Yeah.
And I knew they were wearing it.
Yeah.
Shaq comes out wearing it, and he freakishly goes 10 for 12 from the free throw line that night. Which
is rare for him, right?
Which was he was like a 10%, 12% from the line.
You were like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's power balance.
Crazy. I mean, bro, it's
secured
again. It's in your head. It's in your head. You know, if your mind. You talk to any doctor. You talk about the placebo effect is a real effect.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's real. So Shaq wears it. They agree to give me this X amount of the company. We have no money, but they gave this to me, and I said, if I blow this up, I could be very wealthy here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Shaq cold calls me 3 days later. I'll never forget it.
Random number,
random number. I think it was a 702 number. I'm not positive on it, and I pick it up, and he goes, Marty, Shaquille O'Neal. I could barely understand him. He was talking so low and monotone. And I stood up out of my chair, and I go, Shaq, oh my God. He goes, I love your product, man. I want to get involved. And here's my agent's number, Perry Rogers. And give him a call, tell him we're in. I want to be a part of this company.
Wow.
No. I mean, I went, So I immediately called Perry Rogers. Perry Rogers is like, great. Now, Perry Rogers, and if you know who this guy is, Perry Rogers is Andre Agassi's agent. And the reason that's important is because he was the very first agent at about 23 or 24 years old who walked into Phil Knight and said, I want $1 million a year from Nike. Wow. Nike was a brand that no one knew.
Yeah.
Andre Agassi was...
What year was that?
This had to be early 1980s.
Oh, yeah,
before
no one
Jordan,
knows.
right?
Before Jordan.
Yeah.
Before Jordan. There was a camera company called Canon, and Andre Agassi was Images Everything. That was his logo, and that was Perry Rogers.
Wow.
And Perry Rogers goes, we're walking. You give my guy $1 million to wear your shoes, or we're out of here. 23-year-old, right out of law school. Wow. And he goes, Perry told me the whole story. They're out at Pebble Beach pre-cell phones. And the guy drives out to like the 7th hole and goes, hey, Phil Knight is on the phone. You got to come in here.
Wow.
And he took Andre's deal. And the reason that's important is Perry was and still is the marketing genius of all
Legendary.
time. He's legendary. And you can Google that. Yeah. It's all insane. How he and Andre grew up together. So I'm Googling Perry Rogers while I'm on the phone with him. and I'm reading all this stuff.
You're like, holy shit.
Pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
And he's, probably got he doesn't have a large agency. He manages about 8 guys, but they're all the best 8.
Top of the top.
Yes.
A-list.
A-list. And so Shaq, we get to do the deal together. We give Shaq a piece of the company.
That's awesome.
And then my world changed.
Yeah. So what's the next step after that happens?
I get a phone call from a guy named Mark Mastrov. And I know that doesn't ring a bell to you.
No.
He owned a company called Family Fitness. Do you remember that?
I know that company.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a tiny
still
little
around,
gym.
right?
Well, he turned it into 24-hour fitness.
Oh,
Wow.
but there's still Family Fitness.
There's Family Fitnesses because they didn't change the names, but they're all under that.
You guys wouldn't know though.
They're all under that umbrella. Reason this is important is he cold calls me too, and I'm on now I'm Googling him.
Yeah.
And he's a billionaire. He sold Family Fitness and 24-hour fitness for $1.68 billion.
How old was he?
37.
Wow.
And so now he's about 45 when I'm talking to him on the phone. He owns all the Crunch gyms. He owns all the UFC gyms.
Really?
Yes.
Is he in shape?
He's really great shape. Good. I mean, he's a fitness guy,
He
but
gets
he's
free
in the
memberships
fitness
for
business.
life, right?
Fitness business.
So he's like the guy.
He's if you Google him, he's the icon of the gym world.
Wow.
And he cold called me and said, Marty, I want to have your product in every one of my 24-hour fitnesses.
And you're like,
all the
hell
gyms.
yeah.
And I'm Googling them, and I'm like, I stood up out of my chair. I went, what?
And how long is this in between when you got a part of the company?
This is about a month.
Wow.
All's happening very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly. It took us about 6 or 7 months to negotiate Shaquille's contract with the owner because we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
He was asking, and this is pre-Instagram.
Yeah.
There was no Instagram. There was no Facebook. Facebook was, you had your personal thing on there. There was no businesses. No one was marketing anything. And it just was so preliminary. There was no TikTok.
It's all word of mouth.
It was, people built a site. So that's what we did with Shaq. He had a Facebook page and people were marketing stuff. And so he was going to girls and boys clubs all over the country and doing the balance tests.
Wow.
With a gym full of,
And then they're all like, what?
1,000 kids.
all
And we'd
in
give away
person.
power balance and he would do the balance test. So that took about 6 months. But the month that Mastrov called me, he goes, this is what I need you to do. I go, Mark, I'll do anything you want.
Yeah.
He goes, you're getting on a plane and you're flying down to Alex Rodriguez's house. You're going to go drive over to Alex's house and you're going to stay with Alex for 3 days.
What year is this?
This is 2007.
Wow.
And Alex, they had just won the World Series.
Yeah.
The Yankees had just won. So I do what he says. I go fly down to Miami. I spend 3 days in Miami with A-Rod, getting to know him and hanging out with them. And he has an indoor batting cage in his house. And we're over there, and he's walking me through these images of himself, going, Marty, see that power balance? That's going to be, he's holding up the World Series trophy. That's going to be your band on my product next year. And I'm going, oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps telling the story. So I do 3 days with him in Miami. He wants to invest. These are all reasons I'm driving and flying all over the place because we don't have any money. Because we aren't in the stores yet. We haven't proven anything. But we have all the backing now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting investment. Okay, I'm in. Now, Alex goes, you got to fly out to LA. You're going to meet with Madonna and Guy Oseary. And Guy Oseary's name, we don't know. I don't know who that is either. So Mark calls me as I'm driving to Guy Oseary's house. He goes, do you know who that is? I said, no. He goes, that's Madonna's manager. And I said, okay, great. Go to this mansion. And walks were sitting out in the backyard waiting for an outwalks. And the guy I'm with, his name's Stuart Emery, he goes, do you know who just served us our drinks? He goes, no. He goes, that's the cover Sports Illustrated model. He was married to Guy Oseary.
Wow.
Yeah. It was one thing after another.
Were you just tripping out?
I'm tripping out.
And this is within a month of you joining.
This in a month.
Wow.
Well,
Guy Oseary loves it. He's in. Now, Madonna's going to invest $1 million. Shaquille's going to invest $1 million. Alex is investing $1 million. And I spent all day with these guys at his house. He had a movie studio on the bottom of his house that's probably 40 or 50 people could lay down on these blankets, on these couches, and watch this massive movie screen. And it was wild card weekend, and I had power balance on every quarterback that was playing that weekend.
And they're watching it.
They're watching. We were watching the game, and I go, oh, Carson Palmer, Mark Sanchez. And it was like 8 quarterbacks were wearing power balance. Drew Brees. We had it on everyone.
What was like like I know all these athletes are wearing it, and you guys put in the hard work, and what was it though that really got it kind of sparking off? Like, was it anything specific?
Athletes felt it was giving them an advantage.
Okay, but who was the first athlete?
Shaquille.
It was Shaquille.
Shaquille, and then it just
It's
trickled.
really the power of influence.
It was Shaquille.
Yeah.
Shaquille was the is the
And
first influencer.
And again, how did it end up in Shaquille's hand?
Steve Kerr being the president of the Phoenix Suns, and
Wow.
then the doctor of the team.
And,
His name is Dr. Michael Clark, who's one of my business partners to this day.
And how did and you guys advertising Shaq wearing it was him just visiting boys and girls clubs, schools?
Facebook originally was how it started with him, and there was no Twitter. There was none of that.
There's no real social media.
There was no social
There was
media.
nothing.
But we were on every night. The NBA season was on, and then Shaq's wearing it. Guess what? I had it on 50 dudes in the NBA that season. Derrick Rose was a rookie that year.
Wow.
He gets MVP of the league.
He's wearing Power Balance.
So and by the way, I want to reiterate, we had no money. So we couldn't pay. I was paying no one. We were paying no one to wear this. Think about all that exposure. Like I told you, cover of Sports Illustrated 28 times, and we didn't pay for that. It was every USC guy was wearing it. Pete Carroll's calling a timeout like this, and he's got it on. And there's a whole legendary story about how we got it how he got to Pete Carroll. And you know, that's a whole other story. But that your main question was Shaq.
Yeah,
Shaq was an influencer before there was influencers, and he was very subtle about it. He wasn't telling anyone. He wasn't calling people on the phone. He was literally just wearing it.
It was natural.
It was natural. And then all the other NBA's guys started going, and then I fly down to spring training for baseball, and I got into every single clubhouse with a guy named Mitchell Modell. And the reason you don't know him, but Mitchell Modell owned all the Modell sporting goods on the East Coast. The green wall in Boston, the Boston Red Sox, it says Modell's on it.
And when Shaq's wearing it and you guys are getting all this money now, is there distribution yet?
No distribution. We're selling it. We're literally selling it hand to mouth. Like we're going.
Wow.
We have stores that are going. Okay, I want to get 20 of them.
Okay,
that's how it was originally started. We have no dicks yet. Nothing.
Yeah.
So at the time, Under Armour was a very early start company, and I had on all their athletes, and I was calling Kevin Plank and their marketing team going, here's another picture of your athlete. Here's another picture of your athlete. And I fly back to Under Armour and meet with them to go. The whole play is I'm trying to get Under Armour to buy the company.
Yeah.
Because we've created value. Kicks me out of there.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Just smoke and mirrors, you know, dude, what is this thing? And he couldn't believe that all these athletes were wearing it. And
it is a thing though, where like, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's unexplainable.
Yeah.
It was a fad. And
it was turned into a fashion thing.
It was a fad. And we had every color. And some of the boxes, some of the things you have in here, there's the blue and red and blue and white one. That's the NBA one.
Yeah, this one
That's
says
the All-Star.
Miami Heat on it.
Yeah. I mean, so I had created all of this, but we weren't buying anything. I had no NFL license. I had no Major League Baseball license.
So would you guys get in trouble for this, for having the Heat
all the time? We were getting cease and desist letters from the NFL. So now people knew who we were. And what we had done, we had created such a craze that now the Dick's Sporting Goods of the world are like, we want to sell it. Mm-hmm. And we just didn't even have proper packaging. You know, it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
So going back to where I was traveling around and going to all those places with those guys, finally, the crazy of all crazy stories is I get a phone call. He goes from Mark Mastrop. He goes, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And he goes, "Nothing. You're getting on a plane. You're going to meet with Jay-Z. Here's his phone number. Call him." And Jay-Z was Jay-Z. This is high time Jay-Z. Wow. I didn't know one Jay-Z song, to be totally honest with you.
Really?
I didn't know one. Yeah. I knew New York.
Yeah. It's valid though.
And I just didn't know. But all these guys I was with were much younger than I'm. The full Jay-Z fans.
Going crazy.
We fly back and meet with Jay-Z. And he had a company. And
Jay-Z sent you a plane?
No. We didn't have to send us a plane.
That would be crazy.
No, we flew back, and the four of us, because we had no money, share a hotel room together. All these four dudes.
But you're meeting with Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Jay, because I called him and I said, "Hey, where do we stay?" He goes, "Call my assistant. She'll hook you guys up."
Yeah.
And my buddies, the founders, we go, "No, bro, we don't want to do that." You know.
Yeah.
And So immediately when we walk into the meeting with Jay-Z, he goes, bro, my sister never heard from you. He goes, did you get taken care of with your hotel? And I go, yeah, I slept in bed with that guy. And when the other two guys were on the bed next to us, I go, it was a crazy story. I go, that's why we want your money.
How old were you?
I was 45.
Yeah. Wow.
And these guys were all just 28, 30, 32, 33, ready to go.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids already at this time. And Jay-Z's like, I go, yeah, so if you ever invest with us, I go, these guys are so cheap, they're never going to spend any of your money. I go, they're very frugal guys. And Jay laughed and everything. We had a great meeting. He wanted to invest. So fast forward, now we're in 6 months down the road, 7 months down the road. We've done $7 million in sales.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and didn't need their investment now. Didn't need any outside investment. And
this is still with no distribution.
No distribution.
Oh my gosh.
We have country.
So are you guys doing like pop-ups?
We're doing AVP tour pop-ups. We're selling on every show every weekend. We're selling them on weekends. We have a full crew that's going every weekend places.
Just boxes
and stores, and people are coming to our offices, and it's crazy. And we do have a Facebook page at that time.
Yeah,
that's where we were selling a lot of it, and that we had a website.
Could you talk about real quickly too the cost and how much you're selling it for?
7-8 cents cost. We got it out all the way down to, because we were ordering such large quantities of it, selling $30 a piece in the stores, and we were selling them to the distributors in New York. We were selling it to them for like $10.
Wow.
And they were selling them to Dick's for $15, and then Dick's was selling for $30. So
I don't know what other profit margin it could be better. Like, that's insane.
It was crazy money, crazy fast.
Yes.
And this is all documentable. But CNBC did Sports Product of the Year 2010 Power Balance.
Wow.
We did $64 million in revenue in 3 years.
Yeah.
With this product.
And now, before you keep going, I just want to talk about the influence it had on us.
Oh, good.
So we all played sports growing up.
I think there could be a lot of similar stories
100%.
Watching, So.
Yeah, and what you
my travel ball team, the Grays, we were in Ladera, and we had maybe 6 or 7 different age groups, all sponsored by Power Balance. I was a catcher. My catcher's gear had Power Balance stickers everywhere.
So good.
Like crazy. I probably wore 4 of them. I had the sweatbands.
What year was that?
That was 2009 to probably
right
2012.
Right in the heyday.
Around there.
And I have when I got the phone call from you, it tripped me out, because I had a vision in my head of kids in my elementary school wearing your bands up to here, and we were all doing the balance tests at recess.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind.
I was 8 years old.
It blows my mind though, because I remember.
You're my son's age. He was taking him to school and selling them.
Yeah.
And just walking around with wads of cash in his pocket. He tells me as he's older, he goes, Dad, I was making $6-7 a band, because they had them for free at our house, right?
But also,
he used to take them to school and sell them.
It's crazy too, because you can't like I said, we were so young, we can't get in our car and go buy them.
Right.
So
100%.
Kids in school were trading them.
Yeah.
We were giving them to each other.
I remember going to baseball practice, and the Power Balance rep would come to our travel ball practice. It was like Christmas. He'd open the box, and everybody would pick out a couple wristbands.
It was fun
crazy.
that way.
Even the boys
So
in the
fun.
office, the
It was
boys in
definitely
here,
fun that way.
he one of the boys in here was telling us he would wear it in his baseball shorts or something.
Yeah,
Well,
we were sponsored, so
head?
we had the stickers. Yeah,
I mean, there's some crazy
the necklaces, all that stuff.
With Pete Carroll, he was he didn't believe it. We were putting the sticker on a card, a card, and then he'd mix up the cards. No one would know in his office. Just met me. He goes, "How do I know which one the card has it or not?" And the sticker would have it. And we'd put it in the guy's pockets, and no one knew. And I do the balance test, and I go, "Which one has the sticker?" And they pull it out, and it would be that guy. It was that.
It was
weird.
like magic when you walked in. Magic. I mean, now I want you to get into the distribution part, but even walking into a retail store with my parents and running around and seeing one on the shelf, I was like,
it was cool.
Dang,
Yeah.
like, I want to like that.
It was a proud moment. I mean, it was definitely a proud moment for me. I'd never been a part of anything like that. You know,
and it sparked so quick. I'm sure it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was.
Was that a good or bad thing though?
It was incredible thing. I mean, it provided a lot for my family, which is one, but it also created a lifetime job for me, but creating a marketing. But it also created a lot of friendships. I mean, the people that I met along the way have been lifelong friends.
Yeah.
We laugh because this morning I'm talking to my distributor who did all of this. He's actually distributing Ripped Jerky.
Yeah.
Shout out Ripped Jerky.
Yeah, it's the most incredible stuff ever.
Good.
But just to talk to you quickly about it, it was so good that I said, I got to get a piece of this. I got to find out how can I help them.
Yep.
And like we talked about before, they were a tiny little group of guys, all friends, putting together this company. They've got something that's really incredible.
Similar situation.
Very similar. I sent it to my distributor in New York. And I said, what do you think of this? He goes, bro, I'm at 2,300 doors here. I want to be able to sell it.
Yeah. And
so that's life-changing. It's going to be a life-changing moment
100%.
because the product's excellent. So that's kind of why I'm even here today, is because of Ripped.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you come across a few things in your life, you know, maybe you get one thing come across your life, two things come across your life, a person comes across your life that changes things. So to that point, I'm getting married on Saturday. So
congratulations.
To someone who's changed my life.
Wow.
So something that's
Dude,
made me a better human being.
Congrats.
So yeah, thank you. She's amazing, Angie Harmon.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, you get these chances that come. You got to make the most of them.
Yeah.
Right. That's hard to believe. Right. That little thing.
Very hard.
I mean, to be totally crazy. You know, I shouldn't meet 4 presidents. What am I doing in the White House?
4 presidents you've met.
Yes.
Wow.
Talk about that.
Jimmy Carter. You guys know who he passed away.
Yeah.
So sweet, great guy. And again, it's regardless of political views. The president of the United States is the president of the United States.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
And I'm a firm believer in respect of all the offices.
It's a
of
president.
That. President.
Yeah.
And you know, my dad was a Navy veteran, so when he knew that I got to meet them, it was a very proud moment for him. Jimmy Carter was part of a Homes for Humanity in Atlanta, and I was working with a guy named Warwick Dunn, who was a running back for the Tampa Bay Bucks, and he was building these homes. So he asked me to come to his 100th home to do the giveaway to this family of homes in Atlanta, and Jimmy Carter was there.
Wow.
So I got to meet him. George Bush with Tim Tebow. He was part owner of the Texas Rangers, and Tim Tebow and his brother Robbie Tebow brought me to a meeting with them. So that was pretty incredible. And Bill Clinton and he was doing a golf tournament out in Humana out in Palm Desert for the PGA Tour. And Bill Clinton, I was brought in by a guy named Greg Norman, and Bill Clinton was the kind of the lead of the tournament. And I put on Power Balance for him, and I did the test, and probably one of the most engaging gentlemen you've ever met in your life. He looked you in the eye when he talked to you. He knew your name. So Marty, tell me, what are you all about, Marty? You know, and I'm sitting there going, President of the United States.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
It was pretty crazy. I did the balance test on him, and then like Tuesday, Wednesday of later of that week, he's on a show on CNN, and he's wearing it. It was really crazy.
That's
so,
wild.
yeah. And then Obama had us in the White House. Shaquille O'Neal's family went one time with Perry Rogers. They went back there, but we got it in there because of Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was a kid from Chicago who was wearing Power Balance, and so we got Power Balance into the White House with Obama.
Yeah.
And
He's
so
from Chicago too, right?
Yeah, big Chicago fan, big basketball fan.
So now go into the distribution. Like,
so you guys are making
approach.
You guys made $7 million.
And again, a part of it is not just the United States. We were in over 60 countries.
Wow.
So the distribution channel we were selling it in Brazil. Again, it's a holistic product. Yeah. So Brazil was one of our connections because of Troy Redarmo. He was very connected into in Brazil. So Brazil was buying thousands and thousands of these
for soccer,
sports, UFC, fighting. Surfing was big.
Surfing is huge out there.
Surfing is very big, and 100%. He's still friends with that big Brazilian surfer. Medina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Medina. Troy's still close with him.
Yeah, super cool.
And then we had it on, the soccer players and every sport, Brazil. And you're talking about hundreds, millions and millions of people in Brazil.
100%.
The population is enormous.
And the sports culture out there is
sports
crazy.
culture is huge. So that's how it kind of started internationally. And then we had countries paying $1 million in cash just to be able to distribute our product in their country.
Wow.
Because everyone wanted to distribute it.
Yeah.
So we'd say, okay, it's $1 million to have our product. You guys will be the exclusive dealer in Germany. You guys will be the exclusive dealer in Japan. And so that's what people were just paying us that money to be able to sell it in their country. And it blew up. Germany was ordering.
That's not even for the product. That's just for the distribution.
It was $1 million to have our license to sell our product.
Wow.
And then they were able to sell the product in their country. And they were ordering, millions of them. And again, we were selling it to them for probably $3, $4.
Wow.
And they were ordering, millions of them. And it went around 60 countries.
It's crazy.
How did you get people to buy the product twice?
All the colors.
Yeah.
So we had
to turn into like a collection.
It
type
did.
You want to match it with the team that they're on.
Because I don't
stuff like that.
remember having two. That's the thing.
I think I had like 20. I'm not
Really?
even gonna lie.
I mean, look at just on the table. So you have the fatigue ones. So there's a military aspect of it. So this was really early on with the marketing campaigns of Power Balance and Facebook, because again, no Instagram, no Twitter. So we were having to come up with, it's November 11th Flag Day, or VA Day, anything that we had to do with a celebration. We made Valentine's Day, we made red ones, and then because we were in every league, you had, and we didn't have the license, which was a no-no. We were getting letters from the NFL and Major League Baseball, so we eventually had to go negotiate because they were fining guys for wearing it.
Really?
So the NFL, if you don't know this, the NFL has a uniform police. So the guy, you're coming out onto the field right before kickoff, he's monitoring. You have to have the same socks, same shoes, everything, or you're fined.
And they don't handle it like a sponsorship, like an outside sponsorship type of thing?
It's like UFC. UFC, you can't.
You have everything's the same.
Right.
UFC, everything's the same.
So that they have a uniform police, and they'd see Power Balance on there and tell the guys to take it off. So then they'd put a sweatband over it so you couldn't see it. Yeah. Drew Brees was one of our guys, and in his prime, and I'm at the Super Bowl with them down in Miami, and they played the Colts. Yeah. And I'm in the hotel lobbies giving them Power Balance out to all the team players, but that's how they were covering it up. They're covering the wristbands up. But we had the pink for baseball. Baseball was one of the very first teams to do breast cancer awareness. Yeah. So now you see pink bats and pink everything for breast cancer awareness in Major League Baseball. We did the same thing for football because football does the same thing. We had, if you look on here, the New York Knicks, I had an NBA license. We bought them. We ended up having to buy it. And here's a crazy story about Shark Tank guy who owned the Dallas Mavericks.
Mark
Cuban. He's on Shark Tank. And some company, very similar to ours has been gone a while, but we had the license, and someone comes in to try and sell a product on Shark Tank. And he goes, that product's bullshit. No, get it out of here. And then he proceeds to go into his locker and sees our stand that's in the locker room. And he, get this shit out of my office, get this out of my locker. Well, we were NBA licensed apparel product. So he had to pay us a massive amount of money.
Oh, for getting it out of the locker?
No, for insulting us.
Oh, on Shark Tank?
No, he went in the press and said, "Get this out of here." You're the NBA. We paid hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to have the Knicks on there, and he's telling a sponsor,
you can't do that.
You're out of here." And he was he goes, "I'm glad to pay the fine. I don't want that in my locker."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then there's a Shark Tank episode where he kinds of talks about that. And
what does he say?
He said that's bullshit, smoke and mirrors. He does. How he is. He doesn't pull any punches.
He's straight.
He's straightforward.
He's in Laguna Beach too.
Yeah, I've seen him out before. Yeah.
That's cool.
So that kind of happens. But we had the license. Now we're making money.
Yeah.
So that's where we afford to get the license, and we have the license for every league. Every big league that we had. And
what was the most interesting country it was in?
Well, like I told you, I went to Beijing with Shaquille. So we were putting it. The Beijing Olympics had just happened, and so I'd never been to Beijing, and so we fly there for 3 days. One of my business partners and I get on a plane. We fly back there. The Olympics had just happened. There was Gucci and Rolls Royce, all these buildings, so signs on that they're marketing. They were very much of a big marketing country now. We're not a communist country. We sell everything. Well, behind those walls were nothing. It was an empty mall.
Wow.
So we're going back there to put our product on Li Ning. And Li Ning, he was the guy in that Olympic Games where jogged around the top of the stadium. The Olympics that were done in China, and you can ask many people about it, were probably the biggest production anybody ever had. And China did an incredible job. Li Ning is the Nike of China.
Okay.
And we were putting our product in all their ping pong paddles, all their, their.
I feel like I remember.
There's so many sports over there, and everyone is active. We were putting it in everything, and it was Shaquille O'Neal. That was his sponsor. Okay. His Li Ning, and the way that you look at it, it's an upside down Nike swoosh.
No way.
Yeah, so that's why I went back there, and I mean, I'd never been there, obviously, but that was a pretty crazy experience. And we had it all over Japan. We had it,
everywhere.
It was actually to our demise was how we got, how our product went to Australia. And Australia.
That's far.
Yeah.
That's
well,
crazy.
we were on a TV show called The Biggest Loser because it was sponsored by 24 Hour Fitness, bringing us all the way back to Mark Mastrov.
Yep.
And he got it on The Biggest Loser. Well, The Biggest Losers, they were franchising that show to Australia, and they brought our product down there. Well, Australian government, which we did not know, you bring anything in there to sell it, has to go through their government. They have to study it, make sure that it's not harmful. And what is it, the purpose of this product has to go through a study, and we didn't do that.
What would you say was the most profitable country?
Oh, Germany and Japan for sure.
And Japan.
Yeah, they dwarfed everything. Germany's also, the population is huge. Japan's population is huge, but there's a lot of money in Germany, and fitness is massive there.
What was the most money you guys made in a month? What was the most money Power Balance made in a month? A record?
Well,
month?
in 3 years we did 64 million. So there was probably the last 2 years of that were when we were generating that. So I would probably say we probably made 40 million in a year, the last year.
Wow.
Yeah. So like in the last, that's pretty big. That's all documentable. If you Google CNBC Sports Product of the Year, it tells you that.
The statistics.
And the reason that is because the company filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah. And how many employees did you guys have now at this point?
We had we had an entire floor of attorneys chasing down pop-ups all over the place. So we probably had 20 attorneys on this one level that were literally chasing down suits that we were filing against people. And then we had a whole activity team that was still doing running events, marathons. We were still doing those pop-ups everywhere. Wow. And they're generating a lot of revenue. Probably had 40 employees, 50 employees. And we were hiring people, interns out of SC that needed a job, wanted to get into marketing, that were into sports, and they'd come down and work with us that summer. And then when they would finish up, they'd go start working for us inside sales. And it was the greatest avenue of people. And again, these were people I worked with, when life was changing.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be uncommon. Philip Rivers just walks in our office one day and goes, "Hey, I'm interested in that Power Balance thing." It was not uncommon for some athlete to just walk in.
People would just come.
Wow. So it was, we were strongly connected to the NFL originally as well, through Mark Sanchez, Matthew Stafford. They were both at SC when they were graduating.
Guys,
and then and Drew Brees. All those guys were kind of coming out at that time, and that grassroots marketing from high school to college to the pros kind of brought us all along.
Kept going.
Yeah.
So you guys have 40 employees, $40 million in a year. When does it start to collapse? What's the start of the downfall?
I remember it specifically to the day. I was in Hawaii at the club championship for the PGA Tour. It's tour championship. All the guys who won the prior year, they're playing. I'm sitting at a dinner table with a guy named Ian Poulter, who's one of the best golfers in the world. I'm with his caddy, and Ian and we both have our phones on the table. Both of our phones start vibrating simultaneously. And we both go, that's kind of weird. And the next thing you know, we both look at it, and it says Power Balance admits to fraud by TMZ. Wow. TMZ outs something, not true, obviously. We never admitted to that. But TMZ comes across saying fraud is being committed by Power Balance. I told you a little bit about what Australia did. Australia did a 60 Minutes, Australia, and asked one of the distributors down there, hey, do the balance test on me. Guy does the balance test on me and goes, hi, we're with 60 Minutes, Australia. Do you have the science behind what you're claiming your product does? Ooh. And they go, no, we don't. Boom. End of it.
Hey guys, yes, I'm on a private jet, and none of this would be possible without our sponsor, Zill Media. If you need any social media or any content done, or even start a podcast like ours, they are the best in the business. Go to zillmedia.com and mention Basement Talk for a discount on their services. Now let's get back to the episode. Let's get off this fake jet. Go get back to the episode.
I remember something like this.
Confiscated everything, kicked us out of the country, slandered us across. And it was like a tidal wave, how I describe it. It happened in Australia and went up to Japan, went all the way through Europe, hit us on the East Coast. And that took about a year, 6 months.
It was all over the news, too.
It was all over the news. Yeah. It was so untrue because if you look at the packaging I brought you, it's money back guaranteed. If it doesn't work for you, you have 90 days to replace it. What company would ever do that was committing fraud? Yeah. No, we wouldn't do it. And the other thing they did is they sued us for the amount of money that we had made. The class action lawsuit was $64 million was the lawsuit. It was 57, I think, was the lawsuit that they filed.
Wow.
It was, and what was that? Why did that particular number? First of all, which I learned, and I'm not an attorney, you could sue anybody for anything.
Yeah.
And you could just claim something. You know, that doesn't mean that it's true, but if you have a media presence and they could put out there, Power Balance admits fraud, it's all you needed to hear. You know, and it was
Someone
bad.
Really hates you, they'll do it.
It was bad.
Yeah. I wonder what the intention was, though. Like, do you ever think about that?
Yeah, people got annoyed that it was, that it was so crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, this is bullshit. You know, it's like the guy at a magic show who goes, I know how you did that.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and you're like, dude, everyone's enjoying the magic show.
Yeah,
and he keeps heckling from the back. You know, hey, I know how that works. That's bullshit.
It's also interesting though, because I actually really want to get in depth on the placebo effect because as powerful as it is, it's a real thing, and if this is something that's going to activate that for people, it's still something that is working.
100%.
So like, could we like really talk about that and how the placebo effect can?
So I'm not a doctor, so I could never tell you that, but I have doctors who have told me the placebo effect is real.
So was it all placebo effect then?
So I never got to see behind the curtain. Okay. So there was the two brothers that had created it and their dad. Those were the guys.
Got it.
And when this got created, by the way, the guy I was talking to on the phone, he was living on his dad's couch with his two children, making no money. And then he ends up buying, $3 million house in Capitol Beach about, a year and a half later. But they had a machine, which I never saw what it was, but it was much like a copy machine. And that you see here this is Mylar film. And Mylar film you can get Mylar film anywhere. But Mylar film holds a charge. Okay. And so everything that I was told, or what I think I was told, some type of an electric charge was put into the Mylar film. And our bodies all put out an electric charge. And somehow it counteracted it. Somehow it had a positive effect or a negative effect on the reaction. Again, I'm not a scientist, nor do I know anything about it, but that was kind of what the story was.
Yeah.
And I never saw that machine. But what it'd do is it would run like a copy machine, and those Mylar films were just copied, and then they were put into cut and put in here.
Yeah.
And then it was shipped over to China where we were manufacturing everything. And so that's how it was kind of made. But I don't know. Your placebo effect is absolutely real.
It is.
And I've had doctors tell me you can give somebody something and tell them what it is, and they'll believe it strong enough, and it works.
And when all that fraud stuff came out, did those brothers or anybody behind the company come out and explain that film technique that you're talking about, or have any proof to it? So what did they do in that situation?
They literally just said, look, we have given you guys a money back guarantee if you don't like it.
Okay.
But it was a little bit too late at that point.
There's so much damage done.
The genie was already out of the bottle, and once you're tagged with a fraud, you're tagged with something that, you're creating, a lie, and people want to pounce on it.
You're
and
like blacklisted.
You're blacklisted. And one of the things that I've seen I'm 60 years old now. Yeah. Somebody really likes the story, the upcoming thing is great. But if you get too high, they want to see you fall.
100%.
And I mean, I watched it happen with athletes. I watched guys create, hey, this is the best guy ever. And TMZ was just starting out at this time. And I got it on Harvey, and I got it on all the guys that were wearing Power Balance. I said, this show's hot. And they were following a lot of the athletes I was out with in LA, and they'd be outside restaurants, and I started giving them all Power Balance. And I felt like, hey, I want to be kind to these guys in case, they ever need anything. They always feel welcome. They're nice. They wrote the story that destroyed us.
Yeah.
And
did you sue those people?
No, you can't sue over something like that. We couldn't. There was our product we had no science behind it.
Yeah.
It was literally, there was no science. And to say that to me, I'm agreeing with you. If you want to tell me it's a fraud, well, if you believe it's a fraud, it's a fraud. We'll give you your money back. But they wanted to destroy the product. They wanted to destroy the company.
That's what's interesting, though, because if placebo is a real scientific effect on people, which I think it is, then there is some level of science to it.
Yeah, but if there's no proof to back it, then you can't.
There's no proof.
I mean,
we couldn't argue it. We had no case to argue.
Shaq was scoring free throws.
Yeah, and then the next night he'd go 3 for 17. So there was no real, So you had asked me earlier, why were people wearing it?
Yeah.
Because athletes are looking for any advantage that they potentially could have. 100%. I had athletes not wanting me to give it to certain people.
Wow. To other athletes?
Yeah. Wow, bro, don't give it. Yeah.
Were there athletes too asking you guys for like custom Power Balance?
We did. We made custom.
Like with extra nylon.
We made extra. No, nothing
charge.
Like that.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you had one on both arms. It didn't matter if you had 10 of them. It didn't. That was not. Some people thought that. We didn't have any of that, but we did make custom ones. We did. One of the owners there unfortunately lost their mom to ovarian cancer, and we did a huge charity event up at the W Hotel and raised a lot of money for ovarian cancer.
Super cool.
We did a big poker tournament up there and rented out the whole hotel, and raised a lot of money for ovarian cancer. And their mom had died when they were young boys, and so this was something they felt really strongly about giving back. Super and cool. So we made custom stuff. I did the custom ones for the ESPYs. Wow. So the ESPYs was brand new. It was like this was the Academy Awards for pro sports. Okay, it was brand new. I think maybe they had done like six years maybe. Okay. To get into the Playboy Mansion party, 3,000 people had to put our product on, and then we owned all the images. So to get in, you had to put Power Balance on, then you had to go and step and repeat, and those were all the images were taken.
There's like a red carpet.
Red carpet.
You gotta take your photo. Everyone had it on.
Everyone had it on. And I owned all the images.
That's crazy.
Wow. Let's just say a guy doesn't want to wear it. Well, I'm sorry, sir, you can't come into the party.
Wow.
You had to wear the Power Balance?
You had to wear it.
That's crazy.
So think about that was marketing. I mean, I'm super proud of that because that was something that I had created. I created it with a girl named Jen Beaver, who's a marketing genius, and she lives in Indianapolis. And she was behind that. She was the one that put together the 3,000 people poker tournament at the Playboy Mansion. Every athlete wanted to be there.
The influence was crazy.
It was huge.
So when you guys go through this fraud and everybody like slandering you guys, what happens to a relationship with a guy like Shaq or a guy like Mark Sanchez?
I was telling you that yesterday. I thought that, so we owed them a lot of money.
Yeah.
We owed them millions of dollars. We owed Kobe millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Shaquille was part owner. So he was even more than that.
A lot of money.
So whenever you file for bankruptcy, you don't pay any creditors. Because if you pay one creditor, you have to pay everybody. So that meant no one got paid.
Wow.
And that's was a bad situation for me because the company filed for bankruptcy. We sold the company to the manufacturer of our product.
It was in China, right?
It was in China. And
how much did you sell it for?
$6 million.
When it's probably worth 500.
When you got
at
sued
the time,
for 64.
They were the class action lawsuit. I think the class action was for 57 million. The class action. I think, and again, these are all numbers that are. I'm pretty sure those are the numbers, but we didn't want to pay 57 million, so we ended up selling the company to 6 million to the guy, and I was the only one that came over with the company. The brothers went on their way, and I went over because I was managing all the athletes, and. So I stayed with Power Balance for 2 more years after that, just managing the athletes, trying to keep guys wearing it when guys were taking it off.
Sailing a broken ship.
Yeah, it was rough, but we had loyal guys like Ian Poulter, like I was telling you about. He had to answer a lot of press questions that day at the club championships, and he was like, "I love the product; it works for me." I had Keegan Bradley. I don't know if you know who that is, but he just did the Ryder Cup. He was a captain of the Ryder Cup. I had it on the Ryder Cup players.
Wow.
And Keegan was one of them. Keegan,
what about Kobe Bryant too? I know, like,
yeah. So Kobe was great. I mean, we had a relationship with him, and like I was telling you, the barber. It was good to hear his voice, by the way.
Julian.
So you've met Julian.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So we were doing a photo shoot with Kobe, which I showed you the picture. I showed that to you, or did I show that to you?
Might have showed Kobe. Yeah.
By the way, the images that I have, I had a phone stolen. I had the pictures of these crazy amounts of people, but I have them still on this phone, some of them. But Kobe came down, from Newport. It was shot at the photo shoot was at the hotel in Fashion Island, the Island Hotel.
Yeah.
And we had to pay for his barber to come down and
Julian.
Julian was extorting us for about 20 minutes work. We had to pay.
If you guys don't know Julian too,
check out
watch that
couple
episode.
episodes
He's
ago.
celebrity barber.
He was, and by the way, he's Picasso. I mean, for those rates,
Yeah.
Julian
it's
ran it up.
you're gonna have Picasso come over and paint it on the roof of your house. Julian makes more money than him.
Julian.
Attaboy, Julian.
No, but he
Julian's a
was so
legend.
great. His personality was great and fun, and we had Kobe wouldn't do anything.
That's
You couldn't take a
insane.
picture of Kobe unless this guy touched him up.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's crazy.
It's true. Kobe used to fly in with him.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so our photo shoot was at, let's just say, 2:00, and his guy was in LA traffic getting down here, but we got Kobe. We're burning daylight. We got Kobe sitting in a room.
he's just waiting until
you're
he
waiting
pulls
till the
up.
barber gets here because Kobe won't move. Kobe won't.
Pains on
Picasso.
rapper time.
Kobe won't do anything.
Well, Julian probably got notified 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
It's
knowing
exactly
Kobe.
what. That's exactly
because
what.
So whose
Julian
fault
would tell
is
us
it?
Kobe would tell him all last minute.
Last minute.
Bro,
and
that's
then,
exactly what happened.
And then
Yeah.
I mean, his rates are probably crazy, but like you gotta get paid that if you're gonna be. I don't know. That's
So and I had we sat
Julian.
around in the room with them and with Kobe, and so again now my relationship with Steve Kerr, who's a childhood friend of mine, that's how that door was always open to the athlete because Kobe knew Steve very well. Steve was on the Michael Jordan teams, so that was a whenever I would be around the athletes, they would say, "So how did this all get started?" And they all knew Steve. And Steve has been, to this day, one of my greatest friends. And, we unfortunately both lost our childhood homes in the Pacific Palisades. So, that's a whole sad story. But Steve lived a mile from me, and our homes were, unfortunately, burned this last time. So, but Kobe was great. And the guy was legendary. And I mean, I think the haircut took 15 minutes would be like that would say is long. And this dude got paid.
Wow.
A little shape up.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe
him the
looked.
bag.
I didn't want to say anything. I go, what did he do? He just tightened
him up.
He tightened him up, and and Julian
there.
just did his magic.
Literally one thread of hair.
Yeah, I mean, it was like power balance. I mean, he got,
Wow.
Kobe looked exactly the same as he did before and after.
Oh,
and he,
crazy.
I think that he squared him up on, but I go, the guy's Kobe Bryant, but it was great.
Gotta do what he's
and
gotta do.
unfortunately, when Kobe passed, it was difficult. It was like, I didn't know Kobe, but
He was local.
He was the person that I'll always remember. He was a great basketball player, but this will sound silly, but the girl dad, that's kind of a thing he coined to me.
100%.
You can like your athletes, right? Their athletes are really great, but he left an impression of girl athlete, girl dad to his daughters, and WNBA picked up right after that happened too. He was emphasizing that it's important that these girls get the respect, but that was the guy I kind of remember the most, was how he was with his family, and so that's an unfortunate thing.
Super sad.
Lose that guy.
Is there any other company that's done what you've done, you think?
Yes. So there's a company called Hyperice.
Yeah, they're right down the street.
Well, that's a little different though.
No, it's not, because I helped build it.
That's the gun.
They're right down the street.
So that company
seen their
was
building.
this guy who started it, and this story pisses me off, but he just sold to Nike for $1 billion. He made.
How is that one a placebo though?
It's not a placebo, but I'm saying a sports product who came up from nothing to $1 billion.
That's ridiculous.
Hyperice. It's an carried ice on your knees and on your shoulders and on your elbows. It was
I thought it's a
delivery
like a gun.
device. So that's how it started, was with an ice product. So it was a neoprene device. You put ice in there, and you'd
Wasn't
wrap
it like
your.
a gel?
Well, no, this was ice. This is Hyperice. This is how the company
This is the
started.
beginning.
Kobe, is that one? Remember that
we
one?
have it.
We had it.
Yeah, the product's amazing. So the reason it was so good is when the athletes get done training, you got to ice. So what that meant is you got to go into the facility, you got to ice, and you got to sit there.
We used to do that.
Right,
Yeah.
you have to sit there, and it's a pain in the ass. You can't move around.
It's so annoying.
So what they did is they made this product ambulatory, which means you can get on a plane, you can walk around. They made it with a bag of ice. Then you had the Velcro went around your strap, and you could walk around.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to be stationary. The product was amazing, and I went to work with them. I get them Blake Griffin. He's the guy that dunked over the Kia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Both,
We know
by the
Blake
way,
Griffin.
both
Yeah.
wearing power balance on both arms.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. I didn't even see
And
that.
Big Poppy, by the way,
Wow.
Big Poppy won the home run derby here at Angel Stadium.
Power balance?
Unpaid, holding up the home run derby. Unpaid. Okay, now he dunks. Blake Griffin's in the heyday of his heyday. Hyperice. Adrian Peterson, MVP of the NFL, close personal friend. I get him Hyperice contracts. Okay, I bring in Dr. Michael Clark to Hyperice. He's still on their board of directors. Company blows up. My contract ends. I go in to renegotiate with them. We don't need you anymore. So harsh. Company's worth $1 billion. And he used me to get the relationships that I had, because there were plenty.
Yeah.
And I did my job. But I didn't write the contract up properly. Bad business decision on my part.
Did you get paid for those relationships you put together?
No.
Wow.
I got paid my monthly contract, which was great, and I appreciated that. But when they didn't need me anymore, I thought that they would at least accompany me along the way, because I helped them bring them.
You've done an amazing job.
I did an amazing job, but now those relationships, they didn't need me. Instead, I got screwed. Now Michael Clark is still on their board, and he's one of my business partners, and I'm happy for his success. But $1 billion is $1 billion, and the reason you asked me the question is, if you come across a company that's grown from something to $1 billion, there's not very many of those.
Yeah.
So they bought companies like Theragun, the gun. So they bought that technology from other companies.
And then put their name on it.
Hyperice name. And they're sexy. Their marketing is super sexy.
It's really good.
So what I do for my living now is this is what I do. I help companies like Ripped and blow them up beyond recognition. And I'm getting another chance because Ripped is that good.
It's so good.
It's so good that my distributors are treating it. I don't know if I like saying this, but they're eating their own supply. Don't get high on your own supply.
No,
I mean, that's
crazy.
the first part of
that would be a funny piece of content.
I mean, they don't get high on your own supply. Yeah. These guys can't. Marty, I love it, but I got my sales call next week. I go, what's the fucking sent you 4 bags? Where is it?
Yeah.
I had a barbecue and everyone ate it. I'm like, what are you doing? Yep. That's how good it is.
Well,
it's moving quick. It's
incredible. You see it in all the gas stations.
It's so good.
It's sparking.
It's so good.
Yeah.
These guys have REI, Cabela's, every outdoor store, Costco.
They're in Costco?
No, my distributor for them.
Okay.
So that's my connection. These guys distributed Power Balance for me. Those guys made Power Balance blow up.
Yep.
2,300 doors. So now they're doing it. They're a group called Kittredge and Associates out of New Jersey, and that's who's doing it. And that product is, again, it's one of those things. That product will be amazing. And Kyle has created a great brand around it. They're going to end up making hats, swag. They're going to blow that company up.
The culture around it is growing.
Great guys.
Yeah.
Great guys. Old friends. They all grew up together. Yep. There's the commonality there. That's kind of Power Balance did the same thing. They all went to high school together, those guys. I was the outsider. I was older than them. So I was older than them. So when they came to me, that's how, I didn't know them. But now you got an opportunity to be a part of that as well.
Yeah, it's incredible
we're really
to see what they've done. Ever since we started with them, it's been like we just keep doing crazier and crazier and crazier content.
Have you seen the video?
Important.
Oh yeah, I'm part of it. I'm part of their business development team.
Yeah.
So you've
seen all of our videos. And
it's
stuff,
awesome, and the music, all that stuff's put together. It's really good.
Yeah.
And now we're hopefully bringing a guy like Max Crosby on.
Oh, it'll be
massive. They're in talks about it, and again. The reason I'm helping them is these are all streets I've been down. The navigation of the bumps in the road, I'm hopefully giving those bumps, letting them know they're coming.
Yeah.
Right? So the experience that I've had and the bad experiences I've had, you only learn from skinning your knee, not to do that again, right? Yeah. And so the journey that I had only shows me, oh shoot, we need to avoid that. We need to focus on this. And Kyle can tell you this. The first day I met him, I said, so tell me who your favorite guy would be he didn't hesitate. It's Max Crosby.
He aligns really well with the brand.
And he's a Raider fan. Kyle's a huge Raider fan. And I had him on the phone within 45 minutes I had a lunch meeting with them. I said, Max Crosby, you got his Ted Yeshin is his agent. And so now we're in talks.
And it's cool too, because to talk about Kyle and those boys, like, they align so well with how we think too and how we do marketing, where there's a lot of brands that are so like, they think that something's a certain way and they're not open to like hearing ideas and things and creative. And they've been so good with our creative team. And like me and Kyler, like designing the commercials.
You got to be a little edgy.
And they're not a little. I think they're very edgy.
I think they're very edgy.
Yeah,
and it's so smart because like, we just got the video did like almost 200,000 views in like a day. And it was like a one campaign launch in San Clemente.
And that's tiny compared to, I know. Wait till you're going over to a store where we're doing a tasting across the country.
And that's not with a Max Crosby.
Right.
That's just us putting our creative brains together and building something. So
how about having Joe Rogan on board of that?
Yeah.
So I'm in the process of doing a Joe Rogan. I just sent him product. So I just sent to Kyle to get Joe Rogan boxes of product.
Wow, that's nuts.
So he's again edgy. I mean, it chaps all the boxes here, right? Gets every Joe Rogan. We're going to send a box to him. Hopefully, he opens it on the air.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our next steps. But the thing about it is, with Max agent may say, hey, I need to get this X amount, right? There, you have to have many maxes. You got to have a lot of backups for your backups 100%. In things. What we're generating is the revenue from the distribution channel will be great. But at the end of the day, if the product's not good, I don't care how good your marketing is. Your marketing will make a splash. But if the product's not great, and I'm telling you, I'm a beef jerky guy, but I also said, I gave it to people. I go, just tell me what you think about it. Without any answer, it's been unbelievable. So
you can't compare it to any other.
I drove down there afterwards. I just go, this is so good. I got to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. So that's when I went there. He'd mentioned about your podcast, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
It's a small world, but you know, this is crazy, funny story. You guys were young kids, had these all on your arms, and now I'm a part of something with Ripped that I think will, you know, in a year from now, there's going to be life-changing things happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and
we're excited to be a part of it.
Yeah,
like we're ready.
Yeah. So I mean, this is super fun, but it was terrible too. I mean, it was a horrible experience. I'm being honest with you. It was like a lot
of lessons, though, right?
It was a lot of lessons. So with all that said, I was very much there. I was part of my retirement was included in this company. I had, you know, buying homes was part of this.
Will you ever retire though?
Well, never. I'm 60. I got 30 energy.
You
know, I have a lot of energy. I'm not going anywhere because I love it. All I'm doing is connecting people.
Yes.
And then when you connect good people, good things happen.
100%.
You know, but this was, you know, I was raising young kids. This was my retirement package, and it went away overnight. It got taken from me. It was taken out of my hands. One day I'm sitting there going, fraud. I come back to the office, people are folding up their desk. I'm like,
what was that feeling like?
I was sick to my stomach. I thought it would never end. I mean, we were in the process of making merch. We were in the process of making shorts. We were in the process of making everything. Clothes. We're doing a whole clothing line. Everything was already being designed.
Gives me chills because it could have gone in a completely different direction with a few other.
Gone in a different company. With different direction.
Which is there like a regret now when you look back at that?
Yeah. Okay. So the bumps in the road, right? This is a cave. I mean, it's a canyon. We fell off. You know, we didn't know. None of us had MBAs. You know, the one of the brothers had a degree from Yale, and awesome. He's a smart guy, but it was a degree in Spanish. Right? I mean, but it's a necessary thing to have.
Did he even speak Spanish?
He spoke fluent Spanish, but it didn't teach us. The business acumen was nothing. He had not, you know, he knew how to speak Spanish, but that didn't teach us about international business, which is what we needed. We needed a guy to know that if we ship a product to Australia, we can't do that because they need to understand our product is not science-based. And once we crossed that barrier over there, they destroyed us. Mm-hmm. And we would have, going back, we don't sell anything to Australia because they, unlike America, you go to a 7-Eleven, you can buy a pill that tells you it does things for your body. Yeah. And as long as it doesn't kill you, they'll keep selling that thing at 7-Eleven. That's America, right? And the only reason that thing exists is because people are making money on it. In Australia, this is another thing. Do you know that there's less people in this country of Australia than there is in the state of California?
That's crazy.
So think about that. So more people in California than there are in the whole country because it's so hot. Everyone lives on the outside of the country. So there's you can't drive an hour into the middle of Australia. It's unlivable. It's too hot. So everyone lives on the outsides of the country. And my son lives in Perth. My son lives in Perth. And my son Casey. And so we didn't know any of this. Why would we waste our time selling it into a country that, well, we did because they paid us $1 million to be the distributor in Australia, but we didn't do any background on it. We didn't educate ourselves on where we were going. That was a big mistake, but we didn't see it coming. We just didn't. And fraud was never an element to consider.
That would be possible.
No, never.
And what's some advice you would give to us being young in business?
Have fun, enjoy the ride, you know, be with good people. You know, that's the one thing that I don't be unhappy doing your job, you know, because that's just, life's too short, you know. You guys have something fun. You're in the beginning of it. There's no end to it. You know, it's kind of like that's exciting. You don't know where it can take you.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
And each week it's something different.
I'm going to introduce you to a couple people too, that I think their stories, and you definitely need to Google who they are. There's a guy named, Todd Marinovich. And fortunately for us, I got to know him really well right after he had to go to prison. He was a quarterback here from Mission Viejo, went to Capo, went to SC, played for the Raiders. And he trained my oldest son to play quarterback.
Wow. And
he's got an insane story. And when he comes back here, he's on a book tour right now. And when you guys Google him, I'm gonna try and get him in here. He's one of the he's got his story is resonating. I mean, you guys will, everyone, I'm surprised you don't know him because you guys are younger, but he was robo quarterback. He was the best of the best. And I'll let that whole story go another way, but your listeners will know who he is if they're NFL fans. And then there's another guy that I just went to his show, and I'm going to introduce you to, is Cocaine Quarterback. He played at SC. He was a volleyball player, football player, and then got involved with the Sinaloa cartel and did 15 years in federal prison, just got out.
That's
and I sent you that picture of he and I.
That.
It was last weekend. But they're doing a movie, and he reached out to me. Again, I'm a connector. My roommate in college wrote the movie Blow, and he wrote the movie American History X.
Wow.
So he wrote both of those films. And he wants to make a movie about his life. You guys seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
So this is very similar. This will be the Wolf of Wall Street, but it will be football and cocaine and heroin and Sinaloa cartel and USC football, and that's called the Cocaine Quarterback.
Wow.
Whoa.
So he is the play caller for the Sinaloa cartel.
Yeah, we need to get him in here.
So that's the guy I sent you a picture with. We were just with him. One of the best dudes on the planet. He went through hell, and now he's making a protein ice cream. You guys got to see it. It's on Prime.
Good.
It's on Prime Video.
What?
Cocaine Quarterback, and it's like number 3 or 4 on there on Prime right now.
Protein ice cream.
And it's all guys you'll know from Pete Carroll and Reggie Bush and. But I'm gonna have him come in here and do a podcast.
We'd love to do
because he's promoting the docuseries. Mark Wahlberg did his docuseries.
Yeah. Wow.
So you got to check that out.
That'll be sick.
So I'll make that introduction.
Cool.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but what's the most famous contact on your phone you'd say that you can call right now?
Jay-Z.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
Okay, so now I'll tell you a funny story. My sons all thought I was full of shit because they were pretty much young. I was running around. They didn't see me. They, go, hey, guys, I'm going to spend 3 days with Jay-Z. Dad, really great. So Jay-Z and I'm take my son Casey to a Laker game, and we're sitting in the stands, and I have a full press badge. I can go anywhere in the bowels of the stadium. They're playing the Golden State Warriors. Wow. Steve Kerr is the coach at the time, and I got a test tag that could take me anywhere. So I'm taking my son to the locker rooms, and I'm in the freaking locker room, and Steve Kerr walks in and goes, what are you doing in here? And I go, I'm just getting something from your craft table. He goes, it doesn't shock me. Get the hell out of here. And the players are all looking at my son. My son's laughing. And Steve and I are, that's something that I would do. Sorry. So I'm there, and in walks Jay-Z and Beyonce, and the game's about a minute in, and that's why they come in late.
Yeah.
Standard. Crowd goes crazy.
Time.
Crowd goes crazy. He's sitting on the court. Crowd goes crazy. 5 minutes later, who's that one guy that he's a littler guy? I'm gonna have to show you the picture, but
Kevin Hart.
No, he's a rapper. He does all these.
Lil Wayne.
What?
Lil Wayne.
No. Shit.
Tyson Ott?
No, he's like the guy. He's kind of a heavy set guy, and he's Persian.
Nav?
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. Okay, so DJ Khaled. Sorry, what?
You said Nav.
Yeah, I don't know. So DJ Khaled walks in. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
The crowd goes berserk, louder than it did with Jay-Z.
Wow.
And so I go with my son, and he's like 16 or 17. I go, who the hell is that? He goes, that's the man.
Yeah.
And I go, he got a bigger roar than than Jay-Z and his wife. And I go, we're gonna go give Jay-Z shit at halftime. My son's like, Dad, you're so full of shit. Me and my brothers think you're a liar. Never met Jay-Z. I was totally offended.
Yeah.
I went.
You're like, I'm gonna show.
I was so pissed.
Yeah, you think that?
I swear to God, I felt this big. I was so offended.
Yeah.
I go, really? I go, well, at halftime, let's go. He's like, Dad, you don't have to do that. Don't embarrass yourself.
He's freaking out now.
He's
Jay-Z
freaking out.
is big.
He's freaking out.
Yeah.
This is 10 years ago,
Yeah.
by the way. This is 2015. And I go, really? Boom, right down. Walk right on the freaking court. I got my badge on. Son's got his badge on. We could go anywhere in the stadium, including the locker rooms.
Yeah.
I walk right up. And Jay's talking to somebody. And Jay says, and I'm standing there with Casey. And he goes, excuse me for a second. My man comes over, gives me a big hug. Marty, what are you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. And I go, hey, this is my son. He thinks you and I never met. And he goes, yeah, I know your dad. He's crazy. And my son, Casey's going, oh, God. Casey's freaking out. Casey's freaking out. Yeah. And I said, hey, I'll let you get back. But Jay, I need to ask, who's this guy over here? I go, he got a bigger roar than you did.
Was he right next to you, too?
He was like maybe 2 people over.
Did he hear you?
Who'd call it?
Yeah.
No, I said that to Jay-Z. I said, who's this guy?
Yeah,
I said, who is this guy? He goes, you want to meet him? I said, my son wants to meet him. I go, who is he? He got a bigger roar than you did. He's like, he's the man. He goes, Khalid, come here. Khalid comes over. Jay bros me up. I'll show you the picture. I'll show you the picture.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and my son was like this.
Your son's
I'll never question you.
How old was your son?
He was like 16 or 17.
Oh, that's
crazy.
Cool.
And he was blown away by that. But again, the stories are crazy. I mean, from meeting Bono to going backstage at a U2 concert, with Tim Tebow, to walk in on a stadium completely dark, and the Fray is playing, coming in the back entrance of the Denver Broncos stadium. Tim Tebow just got drafted by the Broncos in the summer before his season starts, and the Fray singer goes, "Hey, Tim Tebow's in the house," and now we're walking on the field to go backstage. And the 100,000 fans erupt. Now, they're not cheering for Marty Burns. They're cheering with a guy that I happen to be standing with and walking with. And that electricity was real. And
who have you become like closest friends with outside of even just doing business with these celebrities? Is there someone like you could FaceTime right now and,
Marshall Falk. Some of the coaches, down the line, but again, the cruel Steve Kerr. I mean, still close with him. He's more like a brother to me, and he gets pissed at me when I call him, and then dude, I'm in the middle of practice. I'm not picking up the phone. What do you want? We text a lot. I got to take my stepdaughters to the Golden State Warriors game and go backstage. I do that a lot for people. I'll take them back to go meet him and Steph. I'll do that. But I'll tell you, the success is fleeting to people when you're not in the heat.
Yeah.
It was really a bad experience, and I'm going to be super honest about it. When I told you it hurt, there was the friendships that I thought I had went away with the success of the company. Mm-hmm. Not everyone, but it was definitely a bad time for me. It was like a dark time. Like it didn't sit well with me at that time very well. I went through a divorce at that time in 2012. Right after that, there was, it was bad, but it was also. Do
you think the business had an effect on the relationship?
No, I had an effect on the relationship. I wasn't acting like a good guy. I wasn't a good human being, to be totally honest with you. So, but that I could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And didn't handle it really well. And there's no excuses. You got to own what you do. And I didn't act great. And she just got married to a great guy too. She's great. My ex-wife's great. And my kids are great. We all got past that time.
That's awesome.
We're talking.
And you're going to get married this weekend?
Yeah, I'm getting married Saturday.
That's amazing.
But
congrats.
Success is good when it's good. And the people that will be by your side when it's great, a lot of them aren't there when it's not great. But Marshall Falk, you guys never got probably see him play, but he was,
maybe.
Yeah,
when
he was, he was he's probably first. He was the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and he's a guy that got my son Justin into San Diego State. He was a good football player and didn't get in. And I called Marshall and he goes, "Sit by your phone." Athletic director calls. 20 minutes later, he goes, "How'd you like to be an Aztec?"
Dang.
Wow.
So those are friendships, long
course.
friendships.
Marty, when you talk about success, what does that actually mean to you, though?
Oh, God, it means something different than it did 20, 30 years ago, right? It's totally a different... Success is being able to provide for your family. Success is having the happiness in your life, content, being able to...
What about years ago, though?
Oh, being a baller. Yeah, it was... Again, you get caught up in it. You're running in a world that you don't deserve to be in. What am I doing? At a nightclub with bottle service. With
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, with guys that I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
I'm in a bar in Las Vegas with Adamic Sue.
Wow.
Adrian Peterson. I had the basketball suite at the Palms Casino because we were partners with the Maloofs. We were going to pay the city of Sacramento $1 million, and it became the Power Balance Pavilion.
Whoa.
And that's all Googleable. You can Google that. Yeah. It's Power Balance. A lot of this stuff you guys got to do too is check it. What I'm saying.
No, we believe you.
Yeah, but it's also stuff you need to do. Power Balance Pavilion. They were going to move the Sacramento Kings out of Sacramento. Kevin Johnson was the mayor up there, and he came to our company and said, "Hey, I need $1 million quick." At Arco, we were trying to take the Arco Arena, we turned it into Power Balance Pavilion. Arco's a $100 billion oil company, and we're, a bunch of guys making a plastic wristband. Yeah. And we put our name on it. It became the Power Balance Pavilion. And with that came anything I wanted at the Palms Casino. So I had the basketball suite there. Nike was doing photo shoots. I said, hey, you guys come stay at the basketball suite. So I had Adamic Sue, Tim Tebow, Adrian Peterson in playing a game of horse inside that basketball.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, and that, crazy stuff like that, that all went away very quickly. The best thing about Tim Tebow, though, he's as legit as he is of a person.
Wow.
Yeah, good dudes. And there's a lot of them have been that way. A lot of the guys I met with that are in my phone, I can still call and say hello to, or I run into. See, Jay-Z was nothing but amazing to me.
Yeah.
He gave me concert tickets to Eminem and Jay-Z were performing at the new Yankee Stadium. And he goes, would you like to come to the show? Didn't know a Jay-Z song, and I said, that sounds great. And I was giving him a bag of Power Balance for a basketball league that he was sponsoring. And so I'd get for all his kids. Yeah. Boom. He goes, hey, has a deck of cards like that. And he goes, oh, you like these seats? Peels out 2 tickets. And I gave those tickets to Josh Radarmo, one of the brothers of this. It was his bachelor party. And they were sitting on the moon inside Yankee Stadium. Wow. And so I go, hey, you can have these 2 tickets. So they were shuttling back and forth with the people that they were in the show with. And, stuff like that. I would never had that opportunity.
No, it's crazy.
So
super crazy.
Yeah, but it was a fun run. Taught me a lot. Enjoy. I wish I had taken and enjoyed it a little more. I wish it didn't go away overnight.
Yeah.
But we could have created things differently. Could have slowed the roll. It exploded. When anything explodes, there's always shrapnel.
Yeah.
That affects things. I wish that we had kind of eased into things, instead of going, oh, any company that wants to give us $1 million, we'll ship the product to you. No, let's do our due diligence. Let's grow slow. Let's make sure we have roots in the ground, because everything, if we don't, just blows away. And that's kind of how I looked at it.
Crumble quicker than...
Crumbles quicker. People got greedy. That was another thing that, it was a lot of money really quickly. And people did get greedy, and I did this, I did that. The athletes started wanting, crazy money. And what did we're promising Kobe $4 million. We're promising, Blake Griffin $4 million.
Fuck.
I mean, when you're paying athletes, that's like Nike money.
Yeah.
And
probably more than what Nike.
Yeah,
is
this is not Nike. Yeah. And we were just going, hey, we have to have that guy wearing it. Oh no, we don't. We could have said no more often. And I read stories about, because I love to learn about how people made their success and how they sustain it, because that's the hardest part. The sustaining things is saying no. to things. You know, I don't need to do that. You know, hold on. I don't want to, you know, say yes to everything that comes my way, because then you're just chasing your tail all the time. No, I don't need to do that. So that was something I wish we had done differently. 100%. But it is, you know, it's pretty funny.
Super funny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, shoot, I appreciate it. And you guys have got such a good thing. I'm gonna definitely recommend.
Yeah.
You know, I have.
This is an amazing show.
I have that. I have those two guys that I definitely. When you guys get done doing your research on them, you're gonna be blown away by the cocaine quarterback.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I want to meet the cocaine quarterback for sure.
I mean, I'll let him tell you the story, but he tells the story when he's getting in a car. He owes them $2.5 million, and they put him in a bulletproof car to drive down to Puerto Nuevo, Mexico. Oh, and he said, they're gonna kill me. I don't have $2.5 million. It got seized.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
And and I'm gonna let him tell you the rest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Is he local?
He lives up in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I mean, and the best guy.
Yeah.
And his life has turned around. I mean, redemption. And now I'm helping him with the guy who wrote that movie, who kind of understands that world. He's local. He was my roommate in college.
Wow.
And if you haven't seen that movie, Blow, it's a very
it
sad movie. I mean, it's a true
need to
story.
watch it
It's how
now.
cocaine started coming in Hollywood in the 70s.
Yeah.
And how it was trafficked by a guy out of Boston.
Wow.
And I mean, there's so many local people here in Newport Beach.
Crazy stories.
That,
It's its own economy over here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy economy.
Super crazy.
But it's a lot of fun. I appreciate coming on. This is my first experience. I don't know how I did.
No, you did it.
This
No,
is
you
amazing.
killed it.
Okay.
Thank you
Stories
so
are
much
crazy.
for
Yeah,
coming
I mean-
on. I really appreciate it.
And I'm gonna help get you guys a couple, different guys, and when they come in, I want to just be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
100%.
studio.
You can come in whenever.
But if there's
Super fun.
anything too that you want to say to that camera there, or any of your family or your friends or your kids, or
where am I talking right here?
that's the camera
Yeah.
on you. Yeah.
So, thank you guys for being so patient with me growing up and along the way. And my sons and my ex-wife, thank you. And my new wife, thank you for being so great to me and having patience with me. I'm humbled by that.
Dude, thank
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Killed it.
thank you everybody watching. Please like
Subscribe.
this video, subscribe.
Yeah.
And before we go, everybody check out Ripped Jerky. Go to their Instagrams.
We're gonna
buy
link
some
everything in the
bags.
bio.
DM them and say you guys watched this episode. Please go to rippedjerky.com. Go to Ripped Jerky's Instagram and DM them right now. Buy their bags. Tell them you saw them from Basement
Best
Talk.
you ever
Let's
tasted.
go.
So good.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Sick.
Dang.